Love it or list it guarantee is what we're going to be going over today to give you an insight to some of the programs and features we offer here at Team Home Hero and Urban Cool Homes LPT Realty. But before we get into all that, please like, comment, subscribe, share, all those things that help you understand Wichita, real estate, and all the different knowledge-based things that we really strive to provide here. So let me go ahead and get into sharing the screen and just going over some of these guarantees, risk reversals we do. But the first one I want to go over, and this is all the documents we'd send you. So just full openness, transparency, so you fully understand everything we send, everything we do, and what goes on throughout the process, and some of the things we do that not necessarily every other agent does. So first one is our cancellation guarantee. Like, we don't want you to feel like you're locked into a contract with us, that if for some reason you're not happy with our services, you can cancel it anytime. Just write us a notice, and no harm, no foul. 7 days written notice, whether that's a buyer's agency or a listing agency. It's one of the first things we present is our cancellation guarantee that not necessarily every agent or every company will provide. We want to earn this every step of the way, instead of you feeling like you're locked into a contract or agreement type of thing. But we do have to set up a professional working relationship as your agent, with authorized agreements and paperwork that goes with that per the state and per professional working situation, to be honest with you. It's only what's right and fair. And if you want us to be fully committed to you, you would have to also be fully committed to us. So part of the home buyers VIP access program is that cancellation guarantee we just went over, or the sell it for free program. We call it the love it or list it, or the sell it for free program. Kind of both come with this home buyer VIP access program. And if it's been less than 12 months since you moved in, if for any reason you need to sell your new home within the first 12 months, we will sell it for free. Only pay the buyer's agent commission, our listing agent side of things. We don't charge a fee for that, just to help you ease on the burden of making that transition. Because usually if you're going to have to sell your house within the first 1 to 2 years of owning it, you typically take a loss, is the common misnomer understanding of buying a house. Because one of the things that typically tell people is, like, you're going to live somewhere for a year or two, it probably makes the most sense to rent. If you're going to live somewhere for 3 years or more, it makes sense to buy, just based on the financials of it, the life situation of it, all that. So really, when you buy a house, it's a 3-year, 5-year, 10-year game plan that you're putting together, that you have to think about for the future of that. If you're renting, it's okay, it's not the end of the world if you do it for a year or two, but long-term renting is really just paying the landlord's mortgage and wealth all towards him and everything else that goes with that. So, but one of the concerns I know a lot of people have is they don't want to make a poor choice. They don't want to have buyer's remorse. They don't want to make a bad decision. One of the ways we reverse some of the risk of that is with our sell it for free program. Knowing that if you buy the house and for whatever reason you don't like the layout, somebody passes away, unfortunately, you have a job transfer, any of these things that come with that, we'll list the house for free on our side of things. Now, we do believe it's in the best interest to offer buyer's agent compensation, but that's not always the case. But at least on our side of things, we can tell you we'll sell it for free. And part of the incentive or hook or gimmick to that is that if you do go buy another house, obviously we'll get the buyer's agent commission. But more importantly, we want to make sure that you feel safe and comfortable with buying this house moving forward. And if for some reason it doesn't work out, or you want to change your mind, you can do that without having to take so much of a financial burden and cost for turning around and selling it within a year. Because typically most buyers are going to see that you turned around and sold it in a year. And they're like, what'd you change about it? What's really different about it? And if the market hasn't appreciated enough, you're more than likely, like I said, going to take a loss when it all comes down to it. And you can write off those losses on your income and your taxes, which I'm no financial advisor or a tax advisor, even though I know how a lot of these things work. Consult with those people appropriately. That's my professional disclaimer with that. We also provide free moving boxes as part of this VIP access program. It can be stressful for finding the right house, so just getting the moving boxes. We do have a charitable donation, VIP lounge. We have a real estate concierge for a few different things, both online home searching, also setting up your utilities. I have a production partner, Rico, that also helps provide the best service experience possible. And then we're very up to date on new listings and even some of the off-market listings that we know about. One of the other things that we provide here is preferred lending with Motto Mortgage, who is our sister company and partner. and we can advise you on your credit score, improve your financial situation, that kind of a thing. Here pretty shortly, since they changed the rules in 2022, saying you can be the loan officer on the real estate agent transaction. That's something I'll be diving into, is being a preferred lender and helping you on the financial side of things and having a quality service experience there, not just on the real estate agent side of things also. So with all that comes with the one-time $495 fee, paid at closing only if it closes. Pretty straightforward, simple to go with that. The other side of this, I'll show you my resume and some of the risk reversals that go on with that. Is, I came from the construction background and been in construction for 12 years, flipping houses for 10, licensed agent for 8, sold over 350 units in my lifetime and counting. Might be closer to 400 now. I'd have to go count. Right now it says 142 5-star reviews, but I think we're at 147 5-star reviews. So some of the risk reversal there is like, I'm new enough that I know modern stuff, but I've been doing it long enough to also have a good track record of experience. An average price point, I think it's like 275 now. And that's kind of the average of Wichita. 260 is our average. And so obviously we sell the lower ones, the bigger ones, and everyone in between. Just enough experience there to really understand how a lot of these situations are handled best, like previously and now going forward with all the new buyer agency rules, showing rules, and all the things that go with that. So kind of when you're walking through these houses, looking at them, you get a visual inspection of the house ahead of time, because in a lot of ways, like, I don't want you to be buying a turd or us to run into a problem in the middle of the inspection that we could have visually seen ahead of time and either be like, yeah, that is a big deal, or no, that's not that big a deal with these things. And knowing how all the ins and outs of the house works, also the people work, and the real estate processes that go there. And then as far as some of the advanced negotiation strategies, these are also some of the processes and things we can really help you with. We have a lot of local reputation and knowledge around agents, lenders, inspectors, insurance companies, warranties, title, etc., to kind of know who's legit, who's not, who's good, who's bad, the pros and cons of each of all those, to really help you know the local lay of the land, that you can't necessarily get everywhere else or online or from every agent that's out there. It's another form of guarantee, certainty, risk reversal that we really want to provide you to give you the best service experience possible. Whether you're on the buy side, sell side, both of these things matter for being a good agent. There's some of these things to get familiar with, like escalation clauses, appraisal gap coverage, as is situations, non-refundable earnest money. On the purchase side, ask and seller cover closing costs, sale leaseback option. One of my personal favorites is a rate buy down, 2-1 rate buy down that you can negotiate in with that. And then what's starting to come into question now or on the table is buyer compensation and commission negotiations also that are starting to come into this. On the seller side, it really comes down to listing and launching well to generate traffic and competition for all that above to occur. And since we work with so many buyers and we understand buyers so much, it makes us a very good listing agent to know what modern consumer behavior, modern buyers are looking at that come with this. And a lot of this comes down to 3 things, which is advertising and marketing, condition of the house, and then price. Those are the 3 things to get a house sold. I know I can guarantee advertising, marketing, showings, eyeballs. Well, I can't guarantee showings, but I can guarantee eyeballs online that promote the showings to occur, from the pictures to the skilled copywriting to the display to the in-person experience that goes with that. And then as the showings go on from there, we get feedback directly from the market on what they think of the condition of the home and what they think of the price of the home. Because if the price is, the longer it sits, the worse it gets. And you either got to lower the price till it sells. And it's not a matter of how much, it's just when it sells for. And it's those 2 things you got to kind of weigh back and forth. And if you don't want to lower the price, you kind of just got to ride it out for that one right buyer to come through, which we are seeing a lot more of that go on in the Wichita market right now, with an average days on market of 26. And really it takes like 2 to 3 months to get a house sold now. And so that's kind of something to come to realize and understand when it comes to the risk of buying a house and then selling a house and back to where we're at with the current modern market on everything. So we do have variable commission structures, negotiation structures when it comes to how we work. Cancel anytime guarantee. We do schedule calls and texts, just like you wouldn't answer an unknown call or unplanned call coming in. A lot of times we don't either. A lot of times we do. Also, just depends on our availability. We're very available, but we're not necessarily always available. for this. And typically on the buyer's agent side of things, this is a new one that a lot of people are asking about. What is your compensation? Typically, it's 3% of purchase price plus the $4.95 VIP fee, but it can vary per listing and case by case scenario, and can be negotiated prior to contract execution by buyer and seller. This is kind of a new wrinkle that's came into the game that's changed things slightly, but in all reality, not a ton. And in some ways, it's added just a layer of confusion and frustration to a lot of clients and agents that I've talking to lately, but we got to follow the rules. These are the new terms of the situation we play in. The other thing we also have in place is our $3,000 minimum and our $20,000 elite luxury cap. And then if you just want us to be a transaction broker, do a paperwork deal from like a property you found or sold yourself, we do also have that service available. Because I know a lot of people are straight up asking us now, like, what are your buyer rates? We say typically 3% and plus $4.95, but it can go down from there based on a case by case scenario situation. But I don't entirely know the scope of work that you want from me yet. I don't entirely know what's going to happen with the listing. Like, there's a lot of variables to come up, and that's not that I'm not trying to give you a straightforward answer. It's that it's nuanced, it's sophisticated. It's not quite so simple, I think, as people want it to be when we're dealing with the complex, complicated environment of real estate. But that's where we're really here to help guide you through this difficult time in your life and this stressful time in your life to be a peaceful place that you can be safe with us, to know that we're competent. We have your best interest in mind. We're here to guide you and lead you through this transaction in the most effective way possible. Then when it comes to listing and selling your home, we do a suggested buyer's agent compensation of 3%. That is negotiable. If you don't want to offer that, that's on the table now. We don't typically see that as being a very favorable marketing and sales strategy, but if that's what you want to do, we'll support you and take that. But just keep in mind, if it's not working, we may have to change that later. Typically, we charge 6% at closing for a conventional process. We do have some 7 and 8% plans. Some agents do 4 and 5%, which that's kind of probably where they need to be at with some of their lack of processes and things that they do there. But we are starting to get into the auction game also with 8.5% at closing auction style level of services. All of this can be negotiated. It is not set by fee. The fees are not set by law or MLS or government. This is all independent service arrangements that we set up with our clients ahead of time in writing, and custom proposals are available upon request and consideration. But this at least outlines some of our risk reversals, some of my stats, some of the programs that we offer, and then all of your standard forms when it comes to same documents that every agent is going to need to use as part of the South Central Kansas MLS program. So hopefully it helps you understand a little bit more some of the risk reversals, the guarantees we have in place, some of the certainty we aim to bring to the transaction, and helping you have the best service experience possible. Appreciate you watching as always. Got any questions, shoot me a message directly. I look forward to talking with you soon. See ya.